Hey y'all, welcome back to another episode of Steph's Design Space. If you're new here, welcome. If you are returning, thank you. Just trying to get this camera a little bit better for you. Okay, that's probably as good as it's gonna get because I'm gonna be covering a larger space today, and so I wanted to make sure that you can see all the things. So today is episode 3 in the Bee Journal series. So we've already gathered our supplies and we have put together our signatures, and now it's time to make the cover. And I'm gonna be very honest with y'all, this is the first time that I've made a cover from scratch. I've made covers using books excuse me, but this is the first time I've actually made a cover from scratch. So I am going to do my way, my take on how this is going to be done. So this is what I've done so far, and you know what, I swore I had all of my stuff gathered and I do not, because I wanted to show y'all what I made these from. Okay, so you can make these from anything. This is going to be my cover. So that is the one side. This is the spine, and I'm going to give you all the measurements and everything, and this is the other cover. So together this is going to make a cover for my book. Now all I did was this is from my scrapbook paper pads, and I just cut them to the measurements. Now I'm gonna put the measurements up here, but they're also gonna be in the description box. So both sides are measured 5 3/4 by 9. So this is 5 3/4 width and 9 length, and this is 2 by 9. So this is 2 inches width, 9 inches, and then again 5 3/4 by 9. And I determined that by grabbing my signatures that we've already worked on. Sorry, I'm pulling them from my box. So I took my signatures, we'll just take one, and kind of laid it on the full 12 sheet, and kind of decided how far I wanted it to go in the spine, like that. So it's like a little, it's like 1/4 of an inch top bottom that is extra. So that's how I determined that, and it may not be perfect. Who knows? I don't know. We're not going to know until we get it on here and absolutely try it out. Okay, so what I did is I just got some craft paper. I have like a roll of it from the Dollar Tree, and I went ahead and kind of made lines to where I'm going to glue this down, because again, this is my first time and I want to make sure that it is as accurate as possible. So let's just get started. I'm going to use Mod Podge. And yes, I'm very aware that it's called Mod Podge, but you know, y'all know I don't talk right, so it is Mod Podge, because that's how it just comes out when I talk really fast. Now I have this brush. I don't know if I'm going to use the brush or the sponge, but let's just get started. Time for yapping is over. So I've kind of just have a line that I know I want this to go up against to glue it down. Now this doesn't have to be perfect. I did pour my Mod Podge into a jar. I'm wondering if it's better to, I guess, do the paper. Yeah, I don't like this sponge. And I don't know if that I'm going to like this brush, but we're going to find out. Yes, I like the brush much better. Okay, that's not holding it. Get these clips. There we go. Okay. I feel like I have to kind of get this down quickly, because it is some kind of thick. Okay, the next thing I'm gonna do is the okay, let's just get that down. Just get it down. Unclip it. I need it to move up. Okay, that should be good now that that's down. And this is all going to be covered up. This brown paper is going to be covered. I'm just doing it so I have my measurements correct before I put it on my material. Because once it's on my material, it's on my material, and I want to make sure that I can move these. Okay, so I kind of measured this, but I wrote them down, so I don't need that. But this is where my holes are the measurements for holes, etc., etc. And I have the measurements for those, so I will share that with y'all when we get to that point. Okay, I definitely like doing it on that much better, but I think this needs to be closer. So that's why I wanted to do it on the paper versus my material, because I know I have a little wiggle room and I feel like I can see it better. Okay, so that's good. And then just move you over there, clip you down. Where's my, oh, there it is. So remember I told y'all that I just cut up, you know, the covers for my scrapbook pads. But what I didn't tell you is that I doubled them up. So I cut 2 pieces and then glued them together to make it a little bit thicker, because those are kind of thin in my opinion, and I did want it to be a little bit thicker, probably because I'm used to using book covers, and you know, book covers are pretty thick. So yeah, so there's 2 pieces that are glued together here. I'm going to get this down, and I know it dries relatively quickly, so I'm not stressed about that. What I am going to do is go rinse my brushes real quick, because I don't need these to get all gunky. Alright, that is done. That corner didn't go down, but I'm not stressed about that. Alright, I don't want to use those. Those are my material scissors. Alright, so I am just going to cut this. Again, this is just a way for me to know that it's right where I needed it to be. And it will make it easier for me to you don't have to do this. There are people who just glue this stuff down straight to the material and they're happy with it. But being my first time, and yes, I decided to make my first time with y'all, but being my first time, I decided that I wanted to do it like this. Okay, so I think this is going to be the inside. So see how this is going to turn out just like that. Let me do a better job because I don't want to have to fold this over. Okay. I think that's okay. So this is going to be where I lay the material. Alright, so that's already down and done. This is going to be my outside. So now, and I already cut my material down because I had like 2.5 yards, which I didn't need that much. So I already cut it down. Now, I want to see what we have, because I do want it to overlap some in the middle. I definitely, so if this is the outside, let me figure this out real quick. So this is going to be the front cover. So this is going to be the front. I just want to, I will forget. Okay. That is going to be the front. And I want the bigger sunflower on the front. Now I'm blessed that this material already kind of has lines, so this is a great way for me to determine where I'm going to glue it down. So this is the bottom line. I want this overlap because the paper that I'm using for the inside, I found it was going to be a challenge. So yeah. All right. So I am going to cut my material. Where's my material scissors? Now I'm not going to measure. I probably should, but I'm not. So I'm just going to actually use my mat as my measuring tool. So that being said, if I put this like that, then I know that's going to give me a solid inch. And that's good. Okay, that's lined up. Okay, so we have that. I'm just going to move the whole mat down. And okay, I just need this more manageable. Okie dokie. Okay. So I did that backwards, didn't I? I think that's okay. Because I have to glue it like this. That's still okay. Alright, let me put y'all back center here. So that's the sunflower. That is the line that I want it on. And then that, well, where's the sunflower gonna hit? So I can scoot this over a tad. Nope. That's the thing when you're using material that has, okay, that's good. Yeah, that is good. Okay, so this is going to go just like that. Now we're not going to move that. So what I am going to do is we are going to do the back first. So while I rinse this off, I went and grabbed some saran wrap, plastic wrap, whatever you want to call it. So I don't have to keep rinsing this. Because if you put it in saran wrap, it keeps it moist. Okay, so we are going to, and you don't want a ton of it. You don't want it so wet, but you want enough to where it is definitely going to stick. Okay. Okay, I really need a baby wipe. Okay, so I have this done. We've got good creases for the spine. Perfect. Okay. Now this I'm happy with. I do want to trim a little bit off of the top here. So and this is going to be covered up, so I'm not worried about the perfection of it. Okay, now the next thing I need to do is the corners. So we're going to go like that. Again, I'm not measuring. Honestly, measuring is not my forte. Alright, let me cover this up. Cover that and that. There we go. So really you're just cutting off the corner. Okay, so what I don't know is if I want to go in and then up. Yeah, okay. So, I'm gonna keep saying so, like y'all keep track. We make this a drinking game. Except it's early to be drinking here for me. Alright. I'm gonna do it this way. I'm gonna pull it kind of taut. Okay, let's do the other one. All right. Where is my front? There's my front. Oh my gosh, already. Like, are we not loving it? Are we not just loving it already? Oh my gosh, yes, yes, yes. Super happy. Super happy with this. All right, now I'm gonna wrap this up so it doesn't get dried out. Put the lid on this. We are going to let this dry, and then we'll be back to finish the cover, which I'm so excited about. All right, see you back in a few. Okay, we're back. I decided to get my heat gun out and kind of dry this a little bit. Okay, so the next thing I want to do before I put this cover on, which is going to be this paper, and I am not sure how I'm going to do that. Actually, because of the overlap, it may work out great. I'm just trying to measure. So I think that is going to be good. Haha, be good, that's funny. Not really, but we'll pretend like it's funny. Okay, so there is something that I want to add to my cover before I put on the inside, because I want it to cover this up. So, this is like, it's a brad, but it's like a little door knocker. And I want to put it up here because I want to be able to hang little dangles off of it. And I'm picking gold because it's bees. Bees are yellow gold, so it kind of goes with the motif. All right, let's see. Okay, first I have to make sure that it's not going to interfere with these, where the signatures are going to be. So let me set that there and get my ruler. Now I have to measure, because this is not something I feel like I can eyeball. Alright, so the width is, well, I just need the length. So it's going to be 1 across is where my signatures are going to be. So this, I feel like, is going to have to go in right about, okay, I'm going to take this brad out. There we go. Right about there. Now this is 2 inches. So 1 inch is center. So that is about right. Right there. Now I need okay, that lets me know where I need to poke my hole. Okay, don't y'all just love the way I do things? So I need to poke a hole big enough for this to go through. And I might as well get this out, because this is what I'm going to use for putting the eyelets in the spine. So this is the big chomper. And I'm just going to use the 1/8 hole. Yeah, that should be good. All right. Let me move all this stuff I have up here. Did it go through? Oh, it did. Perfect. You could also, I could have also used a awl for that, my little owl awl, but I didn't really need to. I was trying to practice with the chomper anyway. All right, now let's put this back together. And put the brad through the hole. I have Mod Podge all over my fingers. Okay, brad through the hole. Make sure it's turned to where that is hanging. Can we just talk about how amazingly gorgeous that is? All right, now this is, I'm afraid, is going to stick up, and we don't want it to stick up. So I'm gonna actually just push both of them down. Okay, this is more challenging than I thought it would be, but I can't turn it to the side because then it makes the the loop turned to the side. I wonder if I can cut it. Okay, let's just see. Because it really needs to be like that so it doesn't move. And I know gluing the paper on top of it is going to help. Let's see if the wire cutters will... Ah, good. So you just kind of break it and then wiggle it back and forth and it will come off. Okay. Yay! Alright, now for the tedious task of this paper. Okay, so time for the Mod Podge. Because I have to do this and get this all situated before I can do the rest of what needs to be done. And I will go through and with Fabri-Tac around the edges of the paper once this is dried. I feel like I'm using too much Mod Podge over here. Get that really good. Okay. All right, let's get this down. Okay, we are back. This is dry. So what I'm gonna do now is get a tool, if I can find what I did with them. Oh, good gravy. Down there. You know what? I am going to just use this. I think they were in here. I've moved stuff around so much I can't find anything. Okay, so before I get started, I am just gonna kind of crease this. And this way. Just want a good malleable crease. Alright, perfect. Alright, now it is time to trim this off. And ruler. Trying to make sure this is as straight as it can be, because I know this apparently got put on crooked because, you know, Stephanie doesn't measure anything. Okay. Okay, so we have that. Now, the next thing I want to do is I am going to trim off this little bit of excess right here off the corners. Like so. And I am going to get out my little corner plates. Eyelids are next. Okay. So I'm going to take this corner plate and get my tools from over here. Put this back up there. Alright, I want to kind of open this up a little bit because it makes it somewhat easier to line it up. And we are going to put that right there. Now I'm going to use the extra material that I have just to protect the outside. And we're going to make sure it's down, and we are just squishing it. I'm not going to lift that one back up because it wasn't all the way down. I'm going to fold these out some more. Come on. I just thought this would be a nice touch and protect those corners, right? Because that's like, that like gets the brunt of a lot of abuse with our books. Okay, so we have this corner. This one. Okay, much better. And I'm just using this extra material to, that way I don't scratch up the outside while I'm squishing it down. Okay, so let's open these up. I'm just going to fast forward through this. Okay. Ta-da! Alright, so we have the corners, the little thing to hang charms off of. So now the next thing we need to do is the holes for the signatures. Now, I could have done a template, but I decided to measure instead. I don't know. I like to see what I am doing. All right, I'm gonna get a pencil. Okay, my measurements, and I will put all the measurements in the description box. So my measurements are going to be, so this is 9, so 4.5. It's gonna be kind of hard to see, but I don't want to do anything else. That's 4.5, and then 1 and 8. Ooh, I cut that really close, but it's okay. All right. So now, just gonna go all the way across so I can see. Okay, and then all the way across, because this is pencil and it will erase, but then I'm also going to have you know, string and all kinds of stuff going across it. Okay, so now I need 1/4 inch is going to be my first hole. I am going to use something a little darker. So I'm gonna have a hole there. So I have 1/4 inch, and then 3/4 inch, and then 1 1/4, and then 1 3/4. So I'm gonna do this on all three. Alright, so we have 1/4, 3/4, 1 1/4, and 1 3/4. So, oh, where's that one at? It's hard to see. Alright. This is going to be challenging. Alright, we have 1/4, and then 3/4, 1 1/4, and then 1 3/4. Alright, so that is where I will be poking holes. Oh, why did I take that off? It's backwards. And that is what I'm going to use the big one for, because the smaller one won't reach all the way to the middle. So that is why having this bigger one definitely helps. Okay, so we're going to start here, and I'm going to use the 1/8 hole, because that is, I'm pretty sure, what. Alright, the battery died, so I'm not sure how much that you missed, but I am thinking that these are more, how do you even tell? Let me see, because that says 1/8. Is it the hole? Okay, so we're gonna go with 1/8. So that's what my eyelets are, and so that is what I'm going to use to poke a hole. Let me move these right out of the way so I don't knock them over, that and everything else. Okay, so challenging part is to see my marks. Okay, hopefully that's it. Alright, I am just punching the holes for the eyelets. So I know you can't see, and it's going to be really hard for me to show you. But I'll show you. Okay, so I just took where the red dots were and poked a hole, and that's what the eyelets are going to go through. So we're going to just do that for all three of these, and then I will be back. Bigger hole is poked. Put this back up here and let's squish this eyelet in there. All right. Done. Okay, so that is what I'm going to do now, is get the eyelets in there, and then we will see if there's anything else that needs to be done for this cover. I was toying with the idea of some lace on the inside to kind of just cover that up, but I don't know yet. So let me get these eyelets in here, and then we will see. Okay, so I'm just going to show you that these are not all even, but that's okay, because once it's sewed in and all the things, it will be okay. Now, so this is the cover. Now, I'm not happy with this. Let me see really quick. See, the signatures that cover up the spine part, so that's not too big of a deal. But I don't like how then that can be seen and all of that. So I do believe that we are gonna have to put some lace around it. Let me see what I can come up with, and then we can decide. Okay, so we have this. All right, so here we go again with me saying so 600 times. Let me pull the drawer out. I have this black lace. So what I'm gonna do is kind of put it here. So do I want to have lace? Basically, that's what it would look like. All the way around. So there's that. But then I have this rickrack. So I'm wondering if I just did the rickrack around. It's kind of thin though, and I'm not sure. So I'm not gonna do this. Okay, I have the rickrack, and then I also have like this black and white polka dot. I don't like that at all. And this I think is gonna be too thin. It's just black ribbon. Okay, actually that's not too terribly bad to do the black ribbon. Oh, where is my bee box? Actually, let's look at the bee box, because I have some ribbon in there that may actually work. This is why I say gather supplies, right? And this may be too much, I don't know. I just happen to remember that I had it. And I would just kind of go like this. So it would be this going all the way, like to frame this out is how I would do that. So we have, and y'all are gonna have to like put it in the comments what you want, and then I will do it in the next video, what y'all think is going to look the best. So we have that, or we have the black lace. That would, my only issue with the black lace is I don't want to do the black lace because it's going to frame this out. I'm not sure how that would look because it wouldn't go all the way to the edge, right? Because I'm just framing this out to kind of hide the imperfections. So it looks fine going across the top and even the bottom because it's going to stick out, but then I think that is going to be weird with the signatures. I do think I have another thing of black, and I think it's a little bit wider. So this is a little bit thinner. So let me try that real quick. So we have the black and gold bees. Okay. Now this is a little bit wider lace. I'm still not sure that it would. Okay. Ugh. Y'all. And if I just need to get some black ribbon with nothing on it, that is so doable. Okay, so I have that. And then if I did this, if I did it like that, it would stick out a little bit. So then it would come across like out. So y'all tell me what you think would be the best, just to have the black ribbon at the bottom to kind of frame it, because I would frame it like this, and so frame it like this and then go up, you know, like that. I would cut it obviously, but it would frame this like that and not hang over. So are we going with the ribbon or the lace? Y'all tell me in the comments what y'all think, and then I will do it next week in the next episode. But this is the cover that all the signatures are going to go into. So next episode is going to be sewing in the signatures and fixing this. So yep, but how do we like it so far? I am loving the corners. I'm loving this little added thing right here. I'm loving the eyelets, even though they are not even. So in the comments, tell me what you think so far about this whole process and the cover. Okay guys, thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, ring the bell, and until next time, y'all have a blessed day. Bye!